this is how we know that we live in him, which is Christ, and Christ in us. He has given us of his Spirit, and we have seen and testify that the Father has sent his Son to be the Saviour of the world. If anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in them and they in God. Now listen. And so we know, if you look at the front of your sheets, you'll see I've got no fake news, because we know. And so we know and rely on the love that God has for us. And then I have a new translation with NIV. And I've never seen this before until yesterday and this morning. I was reading it through again. This is how love is made complete among us, so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment. In this world, we are like Jesus. And I said to Max this morning, we've never read that, but this NIV, newer translation, has it like that. So you go home and look up in yours. Verse 17, 1 John chapter 4. In this world, we are like Jesus. It's amazing, isn't it? Thank you, Alison. And so I'm talking about no. In December, Max and I were reading through 1 John, and we came across all the K-N-O-W, or K-N-O-W-N, or K-N-O-W-S. And I said to look at them all. There's about 27, I think, in 1 John. I said to Max, I know, I'm going to mention that in February when I speak about knowing the known and how important it is for us. There's a heck of a lot of fake news, isn't there? Hear all sorts of things. Even in, what was the first fake news that came to this earth? Can somebody tell me? Satan in the Garden of Eden. What did he say to Mary? To Adam and Eve. You will be like... Whoops. Fake news, wasn't it? Right at the very beginning. So there's been a lot of it around. But we know that Jesus came to this earth. We know that he died and he rose again. We know that he's coming back.
Maybe.
And we know he's coming back to take us to be with him. But the scriptures also tell us, and we must know, that he lives within us now on this earth. Now I know sometimes some of us get, how does that happen? I don't know, but Jesus said so. I will come and live with you. And we just read it. Now let's take that in. We are Jesus in the world today. We have this knowledge, so what are we going to do with it? Use it for his glory? Sure. But then I thought, K-N-O-W, I don't know what you call these things when you put a K, an N, an O, and a W, and you put little things beside it. Can somebody tell me what you call that?
Anagram.
And all right, thanks. So I thought, what is a good one for K? What is a good one for N? What is a good one for O? And what would be a good one for W? So I was in the bathroom thinking about it, and I thought, I know K, kinetic. And I thought, whoops, I better go look that word up. And the next thing to me, what does that mean? Communication without words. Think about our lives. We smile. When everybody was coming in, did you notice all the smiles? And you're chatting to people. Without talking, you're smiling, you're communicating. You see our cousin Colin come in and we smile at him. See Dawn down there and we get a smile. Okay. We touch. We hug. Our eyes meet and we click. This is a great thing on Facebook, isn't it? Well, do we do it now out in the open? Maybe you see somebody and you put your thumb up. I know our kids do it a bit. Thumbs up. Actions speak louder than words. And as we are Jesus in this world, people are looking at us, probably not listening, but they're watching. Okay? N is for nurture. How do we nurture that knowledge that we know that God sent Jesus, he came, he died, he rose again, he's coming back. But how do we feed on that? What do? We read our Bibles. We get together and talk about it. We can watch TV. There's so much on TV, on scripture in the Bible nowadays. You needn't even go out your door from morning till night. You don't need to go to church because it's all there on the TV. It's amazing. You meet with each other and you share different things. You watch YouTube. Max and I are finding a few things on YouTube now. It's interesting. Wish we'd found it a few years ago. Just remembering hymns. Do they come up in your mind when you're sitting down sometimes and something is said? And so you go and find them. And some of us have got old hymn books. We find them, or you can look them up now on your iPad or your computer, say a word or two, and I just pump them in, and up comes the hymn. I'm almost blown away. I don't have to go and find the hymn book. That helps us to nurture our knowledge. It builds up what we're believing in. The O. O is for owning it. Own the knowledge that Jesus lives within you. Own it. How are you going to do that? We all look at each other. It's not easy, is it, sometimes? Okay? Own it. We've got to let people know that we belong to Jesus. Not preaching, but being Jesus where we live. And that's not always easy. Don't be ashamed of being a Christian. I hear some people say, oh, but I couldn't do that. I'm not good enough. Well, who said you were? None of us are. But Jesus makes you good enough. And I think when we're inclined to say, I'm not good enough, we are belittling the Son of God. Jesus lives within you. You can't say you're not good enough. Jesus is there. And I think to me that's one of the biggest encouragements. I don't have to be good enough because Jesus makes it that way. And that's a knowledge that I've got to get into my head and walk with it. Don't be ashamed. Stand up for what you believe. And when people maybe face up to things and say things to you, just say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I disagree with you, but that's okay. We can still talk. We don't need to get upset. I'm going to read a hymn. I talk about thinking about hymns. And this one came to me. Owning our knowledge. When you were baptized, most of us were taught that we were buried with Christ in the waters of baptism when we've been raised up, all right? This hymn, buried with Christ and raised with him too. What is there left for me to do? Simply to cease from struggling and strife, simply to walk in newness of life. Glory be to God. I wish we could have sung this one, but risen with Christ. Now God, Jesus is raised, so are we. Risen with Christ, my glorious head, holiness now the pathway I tread. Beautiful thought while walking therein. He that is dead is freed from sin. Glory be to God. Living with Christ who dies no more, following Christ who goes before. I am from bondage utterly freed, reckoning self as dead indeed. Isn't that incredible? I'd like to know who wrote this one. Living for Christ, my members I yield, servants to God forevermore sealed. Not under law, I'm now under grace. Sin is dethroned and Christ takes its place. Glory be to God. And this one is for us every day. Growing in Christ. No more shall be named the things of which now I'm truly ashamed. Fruit unto holiness will I bear. Life evermore, the end I shall share. Glory be to God. Isn't that an amazing hymn? Wish we could sing that sometime though. Francis, see if you can look it up. It's an amazing one. And then W. K, Kinesic, so it's no talking, just our living. N is for nurturing that knowledge, reading the scriptures, feeding on what other people are saying and helping us. O is to own it, let people know without preaching at them. And then W is for wearing it or working it out. Now, I remember Max preaching years and years and years ago on Ephesians chapter 4, verses 20 to 24, about put off and putting on. I'd like you to go back and, if you remember that, some of you Ephesians, 4, verse 20 to 25, and read about what you put off and what you put on. It's very, very interesting. You lay aside all those things that are going to be a hindrance, and you put on Christ with all his blessings. But read it. Practicing the presence of Christ. I remember hearing that when I was young, and I thought, that must be something really very holy. Practicing the presence of Christ. But then as I matured, I thought, well, of course I do. Jesus walks with me. And I've told you these two stories before, but I'm going to tell you again. In New Guinea, all those years ago, we just settled into our two-bedroom little cottage that makes it completed. And we had our first little boy, and I was in the bedroom feeding him, and I heard a great commotion out on the lawn out there. And I finished feeding Dean and went out, and I said to Max, what's the problem? What's all the kerfuffle about all these men up here? He said, well, actually, they want to know why I built the house right there on the corner. And I said, well, that's the piece of land they gave us. He said, yes, but there's more to it than that, dear. We built the house over the stone where they always sacrificed to the evil spirits. And I said, oh, but Jesus lives with us. And in their language, Jesus, he stopped one time, me never worry. And you saw the light on their faces. They realized that here Jesus was stronger than their evil spirits. We were sitting over their stone where they used to worship. And then years later, when we had started the Bible school, I used to walk out to 2 or 3 villages on a Friday morning, maybe an hour and a half out, and I took the back track to one of the village Polgasa. Rather than going through the government station, I went through a quicker way. And one day the people said to me, but Tuck, you shouldn't be walking there. I said, why not? The evil spirits will get you. And I said, yes, but Jesus walks with me. I don't need to worry about that. Because you see, every area there are evil spirits. Now, you see, we don't understand that here in New Zealand, but there's their life. There are evil spirits every few meters they walk, and there's one spirit for that and one spirit for that, and you've got to placate them before you walk in the areas. And I was just walking, and I said, but Jesus walks with me. Oh, that was good. Of course, nothing ever happened to me. And then one day I was back home, and a lady turned up with a beautiful big bunch of bananas. Now, we don't talk about a hand of bananas. I'm saying a bunch of bananas cut off the tree. About that big, probably 30 pounds in weight. And she brought up the bananas, and we sat and talked, and I said, where are your friends? Oh, Jesus walked with me. And I thought, Heather, the message is getting across. message, wearing the knowledge that Jesus lives with us. You know, I get a bit overwhelmed when I think about it, but you just look around and see all the different Jesuses there are here. When we look at each other, Betty, yes, Jesus is in you. You see, it's interesting, isn't it? And as that NIV says, that in this world we are like Jesus. Amazing. Amazing. So, I'm not going to take a long time, I'm not long-winded, but I want us to know, we know. Everybody say it. We know. Now say, I know. I know. Tuck it in there. Tuck it up in here. Tuck it in here. And then you can speak it out. You need to tuck it in like we tuck it in. That's right though. Tuck in. But it's amazing when you think just what it means, the knowledge of Jesus living in us, and how we can work it out by our smiles, by our touch, just by giving someone a hug. You don't always have to say words. Just a smile. Often you meet each other around here, you just smile at them. That's all you need to say. But some people like a hug. And I think that's great too, because I like my hugs. In fact, our missionary doctor said we had to have about 70 hugs a day, didn't he, Max? We needed those in those days out there when nobody else was around. But we need to. We need to make that contact. And then just owning it, letting people know. And lots of things. Building each other up. Give someone a ring, call on the telephone. You don't ring them nowadays, do you? Call, you text them or something. Encourage them in Jesus. And then work it out day by day. And let us get together and maybe work it out together. Be positive in our living for Jesus. Because as Andrew's been telling us, we need to be magnets. And I've been using that word for several people. A lady came to me on Friday here and wasn't very happy about a few things. And I thought, whoops, got set back a bit. And then I said to somebody else, well, we've got to be a magnet and win that lady for the Lord. She needs the Lord. And we have to show the Lord's grace and the Lord's presence. Now, as you leave today, you think you're walking with Jesus. And you go home, Jesus is with you. You're walking with everybody else in the village. You go to town, Jesus is with you. Mind-boggling, isn't it? It took me a long time to grasp it, but when I grasped, I started to relax and just say, thank you, I'm just me, and you live within me, and that's amazing. Because we know our life, present life here, and our life in the future is secure in Jesus, what more can we ask? Give us a smile. It's wonderful news. Okay, I'm going to stop there. David, do you want to lead us in that song?